Welcome to Creative Pages with Catherine Live. I am here to do sketch number 4 from Creative Memories Worldwide Virtual Crop that's going on this weekend. And I'm going to be using our Wanderlust collection for this one. So let's get to it. Here we go. And here is the sketch for number 4. I will hold it up so that way if you all want to screenshot the measurements, you can. I am going to be using several of the Wanderlust mats in this one. For those of you who have watched some of my other live streams of our virtual crop sketches, you've probably been wondering, where are the mats? Here they are. I have pulled out 3 4.5 by 6.5 mats from our Wanderlust collection and 2 4 by 6 mats. So let's get this page put together. I'm going to go ahead and start with I'm going to use this mat page. I guess I should show you all what I'm using as my base. We are going to use this really, really fun map. I don't know if it was supposed to be a subway map or not, but we also have one of our mats has like a little mat in it, but it's not really going to matter because this is where one of our pictures is going to go. And then these are both they're both the 4.5 by 6.5 mats. And I'm going to start here in the opposite corners. I'll show you the sketch again in just a moment, and you can see how we kind of are repeating. I'm actually following the sketch a little bit closer than what I usually do, but kind of, I guess, I always kind of put my own little spin on it. So you're going to see what I have in store for you on this one. All right. So I have these two going in the corners, and you'll notice that on the sketch, this really is supposed to be the journal box. Well, our journal box is going over here because it's going to be one of our mats as well, our 4 by 6 mat here. And I just thought it made more sense to have it because of the way the actual journal box was, and the coloring went so much better with the pages that I had than some of the other mats that I had left in my pack. I also cut a 2.5 by 12 inch strip of our little luggage and camera paper here. So I'm going to go ahead and get this on the page as well. And now you'll see why I put these other two first. So that way I can get my strip kind of centered through the middle of the page a little bit more evenly. I mean, there's maybe about 1/8 of an inch of the base page showing underneath, but sometimes it's nice to have a little bit more of that cohesiveness there when you're doing that. And then here's the story. So this is where you can put your date, you can put your journaling. And if you don't feel like you want to do a ton of journaling, then go ahead and put another picture there. There's nothing wrong with that if you decide to go ahead and use the mats as well. So this is one of our 4 by 6 mats. And this one is one of our 4.5 by 6.5. So you'll see I did use ones that were very complementary. They all have the black and the browns, and this one has the gray. So I just like it when colors work well together. And maybe that's some of the chef in me as well. And I knew this was going to run out at some point here, so I already went ahead and even opened up my refill so I could just change over my tape runner really quick when it happened, because I could tell just by looking at it that it was getting lower. So this one's going up here in this upper corner. I'm going to give it about 1/4 of an inch. If you want, you can get out your 13 by 13 cutting mat and work on it, or you can use your 0 centering ruler. But I just don't. I don't know what to say. But I can tell you roughly about where I'm putting things on the page. So this is about 1/2 inch in and about 1/4 inch up. I don't know if it's just gotten to the point where I've done quite so many of these that I can just look at it and tell you what I'm doing here. But that is what it is. And then I just loved this pile of kind of vintage looking luggage. I am going to grab out some of our foam squares for this one because since we're going to have a picture over here, I don't want my embellishment directly there blocking my being able to put my picture on. And then of course, if you decide to put a second picture on this one, you will have space for that. So let's go ahead and get this going. And I am going to go ahead and place this down here. Let's see here. Kind of maybe up a little bit from our bottom of our one mat, and I'm kind of eyeballing it with this part of the mat just in case if you do trim down your photo a little bit more, you'll still be able to see most of your picture. It's not blocking a whole lot, but you can easily slide it in underneath. And sometimes with the stickers, you get that just a little bit of sticky going on there. So if y'all have been watching any of my live streams so far, this virtual crop for October, you'll know I've been challenging myself to want to help put extra pictures on these pages. So with this particular layout, what I did was I pulled out one of our peekaboo pockets. I can't actually adhere it to the page because the peekaboo pockets need to go over your page protectors. But what I did was I pulled one of our peekaboo pockets that go up and down, and I wanted to put it up in this corner because I just loved how this We Were Born to Roam fits on our page. It looks just gorgeous on here. And so that's going to be flipping up, so it's a little more interactive. But on the inside, because this is a 4x6 mat, you're going to have a 4x6 photo going directly on top of this blue side, because you can tell the blue doesn't really go with what everything else we have going on the page here. And of course, you're going to want your pictures to be the star anyways. You don't want people noticing what's that blue on there when they open their peekaboo pocket. So go ahead and cover this side of your mat up with a picture. But one of the things I wanted to talk about, I learned recently how to use our memory tabs on with our peekaboo pockets, because then it makes it easier to lift it up from the page. Because you can see I'm kind of trying to slide it or scoot it around here to get it to lift up and go down. And you could just center it here, and it makes it so much easier. Just grab the little tab and you lift your pocket once your page protector's on top. And when I looked through the colors for our memory tabs, I didn't find one that I really was in love with. So what I did was I had a little bit extra of this paper in the bottom here, and I cut a little 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch piece. And I'm going to grab this little globe here, and you'll see why I still have a couple more embellishments to add to the main part of our page. Somehow I'm getting myself all off track a little bit, but I just thought it would be fun to have this little circular globe with the little handle coming off the luggage piece. And we are going to put this on our peekaboo pocket and kind of make our own little tab out of this. And I'm going to fold it over. And then I'm going to make it so it'll come down just a little bit to be a little bit easier to grab, kind of like with our tabs. It's going to come down just about, oops, sorry about the glare from the light there, maybe about 1/4 inch off the bottom of your peekaboo pocket. I'm going to grab my precision point adhesive, and I'm going to use that because this stuff is just, our regular tape runners are fantastic, but this adhesive really, really dries. I don't want to say like glue, super glue, because it's not necessarily like super glue, but it does dry really, really tight, and it'll stay on our peekaboo pocket really, really well. And when it goes on, it's blue, but when it dries clear. So I'm going to center this on my peekaboo pocket. I'm going to fold this over so it has that little bit of an overlap. And I'm just holding this down for just a moment or two here so the glue has a chance to adhere to the pocket. And there is our little custom tab that we created or our peekaboo pocket to be on our page. And it just fits. It really works nicely. It's an extension of the paper here, and people will see this little globy button and be like, huh, what's that? What's under there? And then you'll lift it and you'll see your other picture here that's been matted nicely onto one of your mats from your Wanderlust collection. So there's that. Now the other couple of embellishments I pulled are this sightseeing one, because in our sketch, we do have kind of an embellishment here. I moved the journal box because it just made more sense for what I was doing and with the color of the mat I picked. And we do have some focus up in this corner with our peekaboo pocket up there. So I'm adding these little detour signs as well as our sightseeing button that we have here. And I don't think I want to pop those up at all. I'm just going to let those be on the page. And I'm going to go ahead and use my regular tape runner to place it down. And I guess really it doesn't really matter. Let me check real quick. Okay, no. I had to look really close to make sure that there wasn't really a north, south, east, west on our little compass part of our embellishment here. And then my kids are probably going to say, this is just the page for you, Mom, because I get lost even with the GPS a lot of the time. We take a lot of detours. We do a lot of extra sightseeing. I'm almost embarrassed to admit it, but it happens. You know, I get busy talking to them or listening to something else, and then I forget to actually listen to what the GPS person is telling me to do or telling me where to go. And we've seen some pretty areas as a result. You just never know sometimes what you're going to find when you go off the beaten path. So this is it. This is our page. We'll add our pictures up here and here. And of course, we have spaces for 2 more pictures over here on top of the inside of our mat, which is easy enough to slide out from our peekaboo pocket, and 1 over here. And then, of course, you can decide to, even if you want to put even maybe a 4x4 picture and then just journal on the bottom part of the lines, that's up to you. Or if you want to just leave the top and put a smaller picture down here, or if you have a ticket stub from something, you know, add that to your page as well. It's kind of a fun way to just kind of add some extra interest and creativity to your pages. So here we go. Here it is up close. Our Wanderlust interpretation with sketch number 4. And let me pull back in the sketch real quick for y'all. Here we go. That's it. We're done. Until next time.